and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, we are about to start.
there will be an opportunity for silent prayer or meditation. Please be seated. This sitting has been called by me as Chief Justice for the swearing in of permanent delegates to the National Council of Provinces, as well as the election of the Chairperson of the Council. In terms of Section 62(6) of the Constitution, every permanent delegate of the National Council of Provinces has to take an oath or solemn affirmation before performing his or her functions as a delegate of this council. A delegate is entitled to take the oath or solemn affirmation in the official language of his or her choice. It has been arranged that delegates will take the oath or solemn affirmation as per province. Therefore, when the names of delegates are called out, would they please take their places in front of the table? Delegates will be asked to read the oath or affirmation in their language of choice. Thereafter, I will ask those who are taking the oath to raise their right hand and say, "So help me God," and those who are taking the affirmation to say, "I do." The oath or solemn affirmation reads as follows in English. I, you insert your name, swear or solemnly affirm that I will be faithful to the Republic of South Africa and will obey, respect, and uphold the Constitution and all other law of the Republic, and I solemnly promise to perform my functions as a permanent delegate to the National Council of Provinces to the best of my ability. And as earlier indicated, in the case of the oath, you say, "So help me God," and in the event of an affirmation, you say, "I do." And I'll ask the Secretary to Parliament to read the names of the first group of delegates. Secretary.
Hai Mandla, Samka Pindiwe, Suka Luto, Wana Tabisa, Panlangan, Asabi Christina, Elizabeth Christina, Gaila Lennox Bogan.
Please read the oath of affirmation in the document in your hands, which is in your preferred language. I
solemnly swear that I will faithfully protect the Republic of South Africa and will obey, respect, and uphold the Constitution and all other laws of the Republic. And I solemnly promise to perform my functions as permanent delegate to the National Council of the Provinces to the best of my ability.
Those who took an oath, please raise your right hand and say, "So help me God." And as for those who took an affirmation, please raise your right hand and say, "I do."
So help me God.
Thank you. You may return to your seat. Before it is too late, let me just make this point. We had a bit of a problem in the National Assembly yesterday. Some members signing where the Chief Justice is supposed to sign, Others signing both where the member is supposed to sign and where the Chief Justice is supposed to sign. Others not signing at all. Others only signing one form. So please sign where you're supposed to and sign both, because the one copy is to be retained by the delegate, whereas the other is for record keeping. Secretary, the next group, please.
Pagisi Pelle Jonas, Mohai Joel Siso, Klake Florence Manana, Mohapi Jihad Mohapi, Mukwena Goodwill Lefraunolo, Mechalakis George.
Please take the oath of affirmation in line with the document in your hand. I
to the best of my ability.
Those of you who took an affirmation, would you please raise your right hand and say, I do? And as for those who took an oath, please raise your right hand and say, so help me God. Thank you. You may return to your seat. Secretary, please call the next group.
Mlambo Emmanuel Msawenkosi, Mutara Tasni, Maku Eddie, Mathis Liam, Masango Bridget Staff, Julius Jax Warren William.
Well, before we proceed, and it's not an instruction, I was wondering, those delegates who are wearing hats and are men, I thought even in your house you would thank you. Would you please take the oath of affirmation? I
swear to be faithful to the public respect and uphold the Constitution and all other laws of the nation, and also promise to perform my function when I delegate for additional counsel and functions based on my
Those who took an oath, would you please raise your right hand and say, so help me God? And those who took an affirmation, would you likewise raise your right hand and say, I do?
So help me God.
Thank you. You may return to your seats and Secretary.
Nzimande Louis Paul Msekozi, Zwane Longewa Lynette Singh, Amson Singh, Zondi Winele Prudence, Kahula Nufle Chetty Morgan.
Can you tilt it down for her benefit, please? Thank you. Please read out the oath of affirmation. I
South Africa, and obey, respect, and uphold the Constitution and all other laws of the Republic. And I solemnly promise to perform my function as a permanent delegate to the National Council of Provinces to the best of my ability.
Again, those who took an oath, please raise your right hand and say, "So help me God." And those who took an affirmation, raise your right hand and say, "I do."
So help me God.
Thank you. You may return to your seat and please sign as indicated earlier. Secretary.
Mampuru Khwedi Tsapani, Mateme Euphemia Hunadi, Tikhalet Laras Masefako, Tobejani Godfrey Tlamuraho, Mtileni Emmanuel Viswana, Bayer Smith, Frederick Christian.
Let's begin with the oath of affirmation. I
will be faithful to the Republic of South Africa and obey, respect, and uphold the Constitution and all other laws of the country, and I solemnly promise to perform my functions as a permanent delegate to the National Council of Provinces to the best of my ability.
That was very well done. It mustn't be as if you don't want the nation to hear what you are saying.
Those who took an oath, please raise your right hand and say, "So help me God." And those who took an affirmation, raise your right hand and say, "I do."
So help me God.
Thank you. Secretary, the next group, please.
Dlamini Landulile Catherine, Mtimunya Simpiwe George, Nyambi Archibald Joma, Mhlanga Moses Tatas, Vadwa Yunus Kasim, Isaac Farad.
May we begin with the oath of affirmation. I
solemnly affirm that I will be faithful to the Republic of South Africa, will respect, and uphold the Constitution and all other laws of the Republic. And I solemnly promise to perform my functions as a permanent delegate to the National Council of Provinces to the best of my ability.
Those who took an affirmation, please raise your right hand and say, "I do." And those who took an oath, please raise your right hand and say, "So help me God."
So help me God.
Thank you. You may return to your seats. Yes, Secretary.
De Beer, Sean Jacobus, Tau Rasereti Johannes, Bota Yolande, Stock Dekang, Matthäus Mbuiselo April, Faber Willem Frederick.
Is the 6 permanent delegates still coming or not? Very well. Let's begin. I,
Cobus de Beer, solemnly swear that I will be faithful to the Republic of South Africa and will obey, respect, and uphold the Constitution and all other laws of the Republic. And I solemnly promise to perform my functions as a permanent delegate to the National Council of Provinces to the best of my abilities.
those who took an affirmation, please raise your right hand and say, I do. And those who took an oath, please raise your right hand and say, so help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you. You may return to your seats. Secretary.
Tebe Bunyotlo, Sefako Olishile, Modise Ruth Tandi, Mutlashupi Consolation Tikweitsile, Mokwele Josephine Teboho, Grunewald Bernardus Hermanos.
In line with your preference, as reflected by the document in your hand, would you begin to take the oath on an affirmation? I
solemnly swear that I will faithfully to the Republic of South Africa and will obey, respect, and uphold the Constitution and all other law of the Republic, and I solemnly promise to perform my functions as a permanent delegation to the National Council of Provinces to the best of my ability.
Thank you. Those who took an oath, please raise your right hand and say, so help me God. And those who took an affirmation, please raise your right hand and say, I do.
I do, so help me God.
Thank you. You may return to your seats. Secretary, the last group.
Labuskachni Kathleen, Lond Yahan Yako, from Brandis Mbambo, Eugene Jeffrey, Sibukwana, Tandi Gloria, Prince Ellen Klimba, Dumisani Livingstone.
Very well. Let's begin with our affirmation. I,
solemnly swear that
I, Tandi Pambo, solemnly swear that I will be faithful to the Republic of South Africa and obey, respect, and uphold the Constitution and all other laws of the Republic. And I solemnly promise to perform my functions as a permanent delegate to the National Council of Provinces to the best of my ability.
those who took an oath, please raise your right hand and say, so help me God. And as for those who took the affirmation, please raise your right hand and say, I do.
So help me God.
Thank you. You may return to your seats. Yeah, I'm going to, is he here? Yeah. All right, very well. I know that in the case, for instance, of the Northern Cape, 6 names were read out, but only 5 delegates took the oath of affirmation. Are there any other delegates present who ought to have taken the oath of the affirmation but have not yet done so? If that be the case, please step forward so that we can administer the oath of affirmation to you. Read out the name if you know it. Well, since you're only one, is it an oath or an affirmation?
Affirmation.
Very well, let's begin with the affirmation. I,
Khalereku Mase Manopole, I solemnly affirm that I will be faithful to the Republic of South Africa and I will obey, respect, and uphold the Constitution to all other laws of the Republic. I solemnly promise to perform my functions as a permanent delegate of National Council of Provinces to the best of my ability.
Would you raise your right hand and say, I do?
I do.
Thank you. You may return to your seat. That then concludes the administration of the oath and affirmation, and we will proceed to the next level, and that is the election of the chairperson of the National Council of Provinces. Please be informed that the returning officer is the Secretary to Parliament, Mr. Michael Kotsie, and be further informed that in terms of Rule 2 of the rules for the elections, the election of the President of the Republic of South Africa, the Speaker, the Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly, the Chairperson and Deputy Chairperson of the National Council of Provinces, the Premier of a province, the Speaker and Deputy Speaker of a provincial legislature, Advocate E. Pindela, Advocate B.N. Nonyani, Ms. V. Mnana, Ms. S. Bowers, Ms. S. Ali, Mr. M. Skolo, Mr. M. Mbebe, and Mr. L. Nkelewa have been appointed by the returning officer as assistant returning officers. I have already administered the oath and affirmation to the returning officer and assistant returning officers as required by the rules. Before calling for nomination, I wish to remind delegates that in terms of the Constitution and the rules, each nomination must be submitted on the prescribed form and duly seconded. Furthermore, I draw the attention of the delegates specifically to Section 64 of the Constitution, in terms of which no person may be elected as chairperson of the council unless he or she is a permanent delegate to the council. I also wish to inform delegates that in terms of Item 4 of Part A of Schedule 3 to the Constitution, there may be no debate in relation to the nomination. Should you wish to motivate your nomination, such must be confined to your nominee, and there will now be an opportunity for nominations for the position of chairperson of the council.
Thank you very much, Judge President. My name is Supra Obakeng Ramoelezi Mahuma Pelo, the Premier of the Northwest Province. I take this opportunity to nominate the name of Honorable Thandi Ruth Modise as the Chair of the National Council of Provinces. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Premier. The Honorable Thandi Modise has been nominated. Is the nomination seconded?
Thank you very much. I, Masafako Claradi Khali, a permanent delegate from Limpopo Province, hereby second the nomination of Honorable Thandi Ruth Modise as the chairperson of this House. Thank you.
Please present the nomination form to the returning officer. Are there no nomination forms? Secretary? Well, while they are looking for forms, Honorable Modise, let me just inquire whether, in the event of this being formalized through forms, you accept the nomination.
I accept the nomination, sir.
Thank you. Just so that we don't delay the proceedings unduly, while that is being worked on, are there further nominations? No nominations? Very well. What about the address now? Address? Yes. Just put is this the address, man? Is this? The Assistant Returning Officer has just informed me that the form is in order. I've also examined it, and I'm satisfied that the nomination form has been properly completed by all the people who are supposed to complete it, and the nominee has signed. Now, only one candidate has been nominated for this position, namely the Honorable Thandi Modise. The nomination is in order. In terms of item 5 of Part A of Schedule 3 to the Constitution, I accordingly declare Honorable Thandi Modise duly elected Chairperson of the National Council of Provinces. On behalf of all present here, I have the honor of congratulating you, Honorable Thandi Modise, on your election as Chairperson of the National Council of Provinces. And I now invite you to come and take your rightful place.
Order. I know that convention says and expects that I must say a few words. I will take the opportunity to do so. My respects to the Chief Justice, Ndate Mogoeng, the honorable leaders of delegations and permanent delegates to the National Council of Provinces, honorable members, distinguished guests, fellow South Africans. This morning, the sun rose to usher in new opportunities to all the species above the surface of the earth. These opportunities, as usual, are accompanied by various challenges which punctuate the meandering road to the future that we must all work for. It is in this spirit that I welcome and greatly appreciate the confidence that I have received from all those who have made it possible for me to be elected to this position in this National Council of Provinces today. Honorable members, under the leadership of the former chairperson, Ndate Mahlangu, ably deputized by Metandi Memela, this institution distinguished itself as a major contributor to the national debate on the type of the future we should fashion for our children. I think we must pay our respect, be grateful for the work that our Ndate Mahlangu and all the others that came before him did to make sure that this house is respected. Now, just as I and the outgoing chairperson might be buying the same shoes from the same brand, the ANC, it is quite clear that as a female, I do not have to fit my feet in these shoes, but must remain committed to ensuring that his legacy, his aspirations to take this house somewhere, we remain committed to. I remain indebted to the African National Congress, SG, to my province, Bokone Bopirima, for ensuring that I form a part of this multi-party setup, which is charged with the responsibility of making sure that our country is provided with responsive legislative instruments. I look forward to better relationships and partnerships between this House and the provinces. Our hands can only be on the heartbeat of our communities through ensuring that our conception of integrated development embraces the reality and totality of the challenges faced in our different provinces and local municipalities. It is in this connection that I look forward to more intimate relationships between premiers and speakers of the various provinces. In the same vein, I also look forward to better relationships between SALGA, and must emphasize that we do not have the choice but to ensure that the tide of discontent in the local government sphere is responded to adequately. Local government remains the sphere of government that is the core face of service delivery in our country. As permanent delegates to the NCOP in this 5th Parliament, I must implore all of you to move beyond your party politics and to unite behind the pursuit of better responses to the vexing challenges that are facing our people. This is the legacy that we should be able to leave behind us at the end of our term. The National Council of Provinces has a unique and important role to play in South Africa's constitutional democracy. It represents provinces to ensure that provincial interests are taken into account in the national sphere of government. It does this mainly by providing a national forum for public consideration of issues affecting the provinces. One of the unique things about the House is that the Constitution directs it to provide for participation of representatives of organized local government, thus making sure that the voice that is important of all constituencies finds expression in this House. And this is a unique feature that the NCOP have that I think we must not play with, that I think we must make sure really begins to form that platform for local government and provinces at a national sphere of government. Therefore, the success or failure of this House should be measured by whether it is able to contribute to effective government through ensuring provincial and local concerns are recognized in the national policy and lawmaking, and that the provincial, local, and national government work is effectively fused. I am aware that more than 80% of us sitting here are people who have just been sworn in and are absolutely brand new to this House. So there is a need to move with speed to ensure that we understand the nature and character of this institution in order to fully discharge our duties in the furtherance of our constitutional mandate. So there is no time to waste. I am going with my first speech here to implore and beg each and every member who is a permanent delegate here to take training very seriously, to understand the rules and the procedures of this House, but also to understand the weight that we have on our shoulders, representing, in fact, all three spheres of government as this institution. So we are not experts, all of us. We must all be prepared to learn and to learn every day. I want to quote the words of my former president, Nelson Mandela, who said, and I quote, "Democracy itself cannot survive until the material needs of the people, the bread and butter issues are addressed as part of the process of change and as a matter of agency. It should never be that the anger of the poor should be the finger of accusation pointed at all of us because we failed to respond to the cries of the people for food, for shelter, for the dignity of the individual." I am willing to make my modest contribution to making ours a proud country, and I invite all of you to join me on this journey. Thank you very much. Thank you. We must now proceed with the election of the permanent Deputy Chairperson of the National Council of Provinces. I wish to announce that the returning officer is the Secretary of Parliament, Mr. Michael Kutsia, and that in terms of Rule 2 of the rules for the election of the permanent Deputy Chairperson of the National Council of Provinces, Ms. P.N. Kyawa, Advocate M.E. Pindela, Advocate B.N. Nguyen, Ms. V. Mnema, Ms. S. Bowers, Ms. S. Ali, Mr. S. Skolo, Mr. B. Mbebe, and Mr. L. Ngalewa have been appointed by the returning officer as assistant returning officers. I wish to announce further that the oath or affirmation has already been administered to the returning officer and the assistant returning officers as required by the rules. Before calling for nominations, I wish to remind delegates that in terms of the Constitution and the rules, each nomination must be submitted on the prescribed form and must be duly seconded. Furthermore, I wish to draw the attention of the delegates, especially to Section 64 of the Constitution, in terms of which no person may be elected as permanent deputy chairperson of the council unless he or she is a permanent delegate of the council. I also wish to inform delegates that in terms of item 4 of Part A of Schedule 3 to the Constitution, there may be no debate. There will now be an opportunity for the nominations for the permanent deputy chairperson of the council.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. I, Sylvia Elizabeth Lucas, that have been duly mandated by the first sitting of the Northern Cape Provincial Legislature, are hereby nominating Johannes Rasiriti Tau as the Deputy Chairperson of the National Council of Provinces.
Mr. J.R. Tau has been nominated. Is this nomination seconded? Yes, sir.
The Chairperson, I, Charles Kobus de Beer from the Northern Cape, second nomination of Honorable Johannes Rasiriti Tau as a permanent Deputy Chairperson of the National Council of Provinces. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Please present the nomination forms to the returning officer. Honorable members, the nomination form has been filled and it is in order. I wish to find out from the honorable members whether there is any further nomination for the position of the permanent deputy chairperson of the council. None? Ayiko. There being no further nomination, I therefore wish to ask Ndate Tau whether he accepts.
Thank you very much, Chair. Yes, I do accept the nomination.
Honourable members, there has been only one candidate who has been nominated and seconded. The Honourable Tau has accepted the nomination. I therefore have the pleasure to congratulate the Honourable Tau as the permanent Deputy Chairperson of the House. You are congratulated, sir. Mr. Tau, do you wish to make a few remarks of acceptance?
Thank you very much, Chair of the National Council of Provinces, the Chief Justice of the Republic of South Africa, permanent or special delegates, delegates of SALGA, distinguished guests. Let me take the opportunity, of course, to recognize the Honorable Mahlangu and the Honorable Memela, former Chair and Deputy Chair, and therefore also make the point that it is with great humility that I stand here to thank you for electing me to the position of Permanent Deputy Chairperson of the National Council of Provinces. I take this to be your instruction, members, and that of your respective provinces, for me to be part of the collective that will steer the ship and ensure that the National Council of Provinces live to the constitutional mandate, to its constitutional mandate. Let me thank also each and every South African who participated in the 5th national and provincial elections earlier this month for ensuring that we have a democratic outcome. And that democratic outcome is the one that presents an opportunity for us to be here today. It is an outcome that must take this country forward, and for which, as a consequence of our people's confidence in the democratic process of our country and our young democracy, today we have established fully now the National Council of Provinces, whose mandate is primarily to represent and advance the interests of our provinces and, of course, our local municipalities. I would like to thank my province, the Northern Cape, for seeing it fit that I should be a permanent delegate to the House. This was indeed an important consideration which I hope will facilitate continuity in the context of change that is necessary for ensuring that our institutions of democracy remain vibrant. And importantly, I wish to thank the leadership of my organization, that is the African National Congress, for having saw it fit to give me the opportunity to serve as part of the leadership collective. As we have seen with the previous parliaments, each mandate period comes with tasks, challenges, and opportunities. It is because of this that we should approach each period ready to contribute to the overall agenda of improving the quality of the lives of our people. Given the fact that it straddles across 3 spheres of government, the National Council of Provinces is a national forum of strategic value to the pursuit of that particular goal of ensuring that South Africa is a united, democratic, non-sexist, and a prosperous country. Its composition, location, and mandate make it possible for its members to view government from a different perspective or perspectives. Hence, it is important that we take advantage of the 5th mandate period of our parliament to advance the task and mandate of the National Council of Provinces. Therefore, I can say with confidence that the NCOP is now better positioned to further advance participatory democracy in keeping with the Freedom Charter principle of which states that the people shall govern. It is also better positioned to serve as a mechanism to bring together our decentralized system of governance, and importantly, it is better positioned to contribute to building social cohesion and, of course, a united nation. All this would not have been possible without deliberate efforts by the previous leadership to take this institution to a higher trajectory. It is up to us as active to participate, to forward the work that has been done so far and use the National Council of Provinces to further intervene in society, in order to create a better living and working conditions for all our people. We owe this to those who suffered so that we could have our freedom and decide and shape the future of our country for our children and great-grandchildren, and of course not forgetting our grandchildren. Thank you very much, Chairperson.
Thank you, sir. We proceed, honorable members. The next next item on our agenda was the election of the rotating deputy chairperson. I am advised, honorable members, that there are several views on the matter. One is that the old practice was that it was rotational, and therefore provinces came in on the alphabetical order. The other view which I am picking up is that there are provinces which still want to consult on this matter. Now, this is the 5th Parliament. I want to suggest that we defer this matter until all provinces have consulted and we can come back to this matter. In other words, not take a view when other people are still saying they are going to be consulting. Does the House agree? If the House agrees, we then continue to the next item on the agenda, which is the nomination and election of the Chief Whip of the National Council of Provinces. Are there any nominations? Muranaka.
My name is Archibald Chomonyambi, permanent delegate from Mpumalanga province in this National Council of Provinces. I rise to nominate Honorable Hunadi Ufima Matime as the Chief Whip of this August House.
The Honorable Matime has been nominated. Is this nomination seconded? The Honorable.
Mina Louis Paul Musankosi Nzimande oyisithunywa siphelele esisuka kwaZulu Natal ngiphakamela ukusekela ukuphakanyiswa kwegama le Chief Whip. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Thank you. Please present the nomination form to this. Yes. Are there any further nominations? None? I have just looked at the nomination form. It is in order. I have asked the House whether there is any further nomination. That invitation has not been accepted. I therefore must ask the Honorable Mateme to confirm her acceptance.
Mohlomphege modulasetulo wa ntlo hlomphegego ke le Hunadi Ufima Matime ke amogela boikarabelo jo ke bofiwago ke ntlo e.
Congratulations, ma'am. Will the Honorable Dr. Matime, the Chief Whip, avail herself to saying a few words to the August House?
Our brand new chairperson of the NCOP and our brand new deputy chairperson, our outgoing Chair and Deputy, my leadership in the gallery, members of this august house. My late president said, I may not quote him verbatim, if you talk to a man in a language he understands, you're talking to his head. If you talk to this man in his own language, you're talking to his heart. And a woman. And a woman, yes. Chair, allow me to use my language, which is also one of the official languages. Keleboga kudu 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 kudu. Sebaka se ntloye impilego sona. Go tšea boikarabelo, a responsibility which in all honesty I must confess I've got no idea what it is all about. From the 20 years I spent in the Limpopo legislature, going through a number of them, I have an idea, but as regards a house of this stature, I got no inkling as to what exactly I'm expected to do. Chair, as I was seated there, my mind went back to my childhood, the kind of a father who raised me. I'm the second child in a family of 10. I'm the first daughter. Throughout my life, I saw people grow, becoming adults, take their positions in society, play their role in life. Chair, least did I know that it was some training of some sort for the kind of responsibility that this august house will assign me in 2014. He used to say to me, your siblings will do as you do, not as you say. He used to say to me, you lead from the front, at times also from the center. I'll come to that one, ma'am. They didn't hear that one. Chairperson, that is me, humbled by this responsibility. I vow to join you on the journey, Chairperson. You invited us to join you on the journey, to contribute to making the lives of our people better. I'm one of your teammates. Chair, together I believe we're going to move South Africa forward like never before. Chair, those who know me say maybe I'm soft-spoken and maybe on the less assertive side, but I can also be a slave driver because I believe in results. What's the use of coming to a house like this with the mandate of the masses of our people and fail to produce the results? Chairperson, honorable members, I am your servant. I thank you.
Congratulations, ma'am. Order. Honorable members, I want to take the opportunity to express our gratitude to our Chief Justice, Ntate Mkhweng, you have done it again, sir. Re a go golola kgosi ya ka. Ra leboga. I want to honorable members, I have to admit that at this moment, I am not certain about who and if everybody wants to make congratulatory remarks. But I am taking the opportunity to invite provinces who wish to do so. Is the Eastern Cape ready, Premier? Please proceed.
Thank you so much, National Chair, as well as the Deputy Chair. I acknowledge the Chief Justice who's just left, and all the honored members here, including those in the public gallery, the leadership of all formations. It gives us really an honor that we take this opportunity to congratulate all those who have just elected and assigned them the responsibility of leading this important institution. As the Eastern Cape, we pledge our commitment to the cooperation in all the endeavors of this institution in terms of what it's meant to achieve. You can rest assured that in all your programs, including whichever programs you may envisage taking Parliament to the people, you will find us there, ready to make this institution play its meaningful role in society. Congratulations, everyone else. Thank you.
Thank you, Premier. The Free State.
Honorable Chair, Honorable Premiers, President, and Honorable Members, on behalf of the Free State, I want to congratulate the Chairperson, the Deputy Chairperson, the Chief Whip of the House, and we pledge our support, our fervent support, unwavering support, and commitment to serve our people with clarity of focus. Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson. As Gauteng, we would also like to take the opportunity to congratulate you as the newly elected Chairperson of the National Council of Provinces, to also congratulate the Permanent Deputy Chairperson, Honorable Papitau, and the Chief Whip, Honorable Matime, to also congratulate all the honorable members who have been sworn in today. We pledge to support and work with the National Council of Provinces to realize the mandate of tackling the intractable problems of poverty, inequality, and unemployment facing our people. We also would like to pledge our support to work with you in moving our country forward. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. KZN.
Thank you, Chairperson, for this opportunity. Indeed, I think having spent 2 hours on the trip coming to Cape Town, I think I deserve this opportunity. Congratulations for this inaugural session of the NCOP in our country. And congratulations to those who have been elected to these important positions of this House. Indeed, you have our support in your in your work in those positions of responsibility, and you can count on us for cooperation all the time. I believe that the NCOP has built a very good reputation over years since it came to existence. It has been seen by communities, by various sectors in our provinces, doing their work and adding quality in the overall work that government has to do in the furtherance of the interests of our people. We trust you will continue to build on that reputation and add more quality and more sharpness on the work that has been done over years. And therefore it is our trust and a pledge of support that will always work with you, and we hope that there will always be very good communication, very good coordination, and very good synergy between yourselves and our province. I end by saying that like in all operations, there must always be something to look after any possible risk. And I do want to say that in case that risk does happen of our province and provincial interests getting forgotten, we have a very strong delegation from KZN here. And we trust that they will always make sure that the agenda of the province is never forgotten, and we will keep in touch with them all the time. They are men and women of reputation as individuals with quite a lot of experience, and therefore we have no doubt that they will all, as a collective and also as individuals within the collective of the NCOP, add quality. In case that doesn't happen, I will leave you with my number. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Limpopo.
Modula stulo wa Ntlehlomphego, motlatsa modula stulo, sefepi sa rena ka rantlo, re le di permanent delegates ka mo NCOP, re emetše Limpopo province. We feel very humbled to support every human in carrying out and executing the legislative mandate of Limpopo province. Mogolo khale ge ba fahlegile o be a re tšaeto a ke tshadi pele di wela ka lweng ga e gona yo taba monna mogolo o re you educate a woman, you educate a nation. We also hope that, Chairperson, in this house each one will teach one. Socialism is the future. Let's build it now.
I have the pleasure to call on Mpumalanga.
Order.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chairperson, for the opportunity. As Mpumalanga would want to congratulate you, the Permanent Deputy Chair, and the Honorable Chief Whip of the House. We do want to say you have our support, especially after going through the processes of door-to-door and understood what are the needs of our people. And after having understood or known what has been done for the past 20 years, the good story, I think we are very much clear on what needs to be done by this House. With us behind you, we are sure that we will be able to achieve what is expected by our people, We therefore pledge our support to you and the team and to take South Africa forward. Thank you very much.
Baie dankie, voorzitter. Als premier teenwoordig, adjunct-voorzitter en al die permanente afgevaardigdes, als ook die leiders van ons beweging. Dit is inderdaad voor ons een voorrecht als die Noordkap. Je weet, niemand beseft niet, maar die Noordkap leidt eindelijk hier huis van vandaag af. Want Tandy Modise is oorspronkelijk een kind van die Noordkap. Hetzelfde geldt voor Johannesburg. And that is why it is such a great honor for us to know that we are represented in this house. Our mandate is to implement the National Development Plan and to implement the manifesto of the ANC. We don't have any other mandate. And we want to thank the people of South Africa for the trust that they put in our movement, that we are the only organization that can change the lives of the poor. Chairperson, met daar een paar woorden wil ek vir u baie geluk sê met die verkiesing as voorsitter van die Nasionale Raad van Provinsies. Ek wil aan meneer Tau, Papi, soos hy algemeen bekend is, ook sê baie geluk met sy verkiesing tot ondervoorsitter en ook vir my achtbare vriendin Dr. Hunadi Mateme. Ons kom een baie lang pad aan van IPEC af tot nou toe. Ek wil vir haar sê baie geluk en jy hoef nie te weet nie, want jy sal baie gauw weet, ouses, meneer Warij en Awari nie. Dit is een doodseker sak. Maar ek wil ook vir die achtbare lede baie geluk wens en ek wil baie sterkte toewens met die werk wat hulle veronderstel is om in hierdie huis te doen. En ek wil vir u sê, voorsitter, op ons volle samenwerking kan die staat maak. Ons sal die ondersteun in alle opsigte, want ons wil Suid-Afrika vorentoe neem. Baie dankie.
Bukoni Bupirima.
Ireketse Chinuego go leboga modula stulo motlotlegi ne Thandi Modise. Ke lebogela gore wa bo tlhophilwe jaaka modula stulo tsele re tsamaile mmogo ke nnile tsele telele ya tirisano mmogo go netefatsa gore re direla setšhaba sa rona jaanong ke ne ke re mo boemong jwa province ya rona Bokone Bophirima ke go itsise jaaka modula stulo gore ke monokeng ya rona go wena e tlhamaletse re tla netefatsa gore go ema monokeng re tshwarana ka matsogo go dira tiro ya rena setšhaba motlatsa modula stulo ntate Rasiriti Tau re re lwenang go nne re go leboge o mokaubere o kwakwadite re go leboge ka ntlha gore re tsamaile tsela mmogo re godisiwa ke African National Congress re solofela ha o tla tswelela go netefatsa re o dira ka natla mme Hunadi le wena re ne re go lebogise jaaka mme mangwana o tshwara thipa ka fa bogaleng jaanong le bomme ba le babedi ke ne ke re le tshware le seka la e tlogela ya rona tiro ke go isa Afrika Borwa pele mme mo lenaneong le la rona la go isa Afrika Borwa pele ra go tsamaya re kopana le dikgwetlho ra go tsamaya mo tseleng e magwatata ba bangwe ga ba e go rata ka mokgwa o re gatang re gatoga ka teng mme rona re itse gore re direla setšhaba sa rona ka ntlha gore batho ba batla metsi batho ba batla ditsela batho ba batla ditleliniki batho ba batla dipetlele batho ba batla ditiro gore matshelo a bone a tla tokafala yaanong ke ne ke re mo tseleng e le tsamayang re tla lema nokeng re tla tsamaya le lona itseng gore re ha le kopana le dikgwetlho tsela kgopo ga e latse nageng le seka re le kopana le mathata la nyema ka ntlha gore re tsamayang tsela ke a magwatata mme fa tokoga ka fa ke ne ke re ke mo itsise gore re ne re ba kopa gore ba leke gore ditsebe di bulege le ka matlho ba bone gore ko re yang rona re le baeteledipele ba nageng la African National Congress ga rena bothibo re tshwana le terena mafonfonyana ke lebogile thata
die Weskap. Sanbulani Nonke. Ja. Yavusala Nawe. Sihlalo. I know we go in alphabetical order, and whether they go in alphabetical order of surname or of province, I'm very used to being lost. But there's a lovely convention if you last, Madam Chair. It means that anybody else who didn't use their full time gets added to the person who's lost. So thank you very much indeed. Madam Chair, I would like to congratulate you most warmly. You will see that we did not propose an alternative because we believe that you are, according to the Constitution, as defined there, a fit and proper person for this job, and we respect the mandate of the voters. And so that's why, in respecting the mandate of the voters, we will only put up an alternative candidate if we do not believe that, if we believe that the candidate put up by the majority party does not conform with the requirements of the Constitution to be a fit and proper person for the office. But we do believe that you and the other people nominated are fit and proper people to hold office, and so from the Western Cape, we would like to congratulate you most warmly, and we will be looking to you to uphold the Constitution, to be impartial, and to lead this august House with the integrity that is required. In the former dispensation, Madam Chair, this House was called the Upper House for a very good reason, because this House has the critical constitutional duty of oversight and of checks and balances on the National Assembly, but a critical additional responsibility in our new democracy, which is to represent the voice of the provinces. And that is a critical voice, Madam Chair, because in this constitutional dispensation, there are not tiers of government as there were in the last one. There are spheres of government, spheres that are autonomous, that each have a critical role to play, and that need a voice in the highest form of this land, which is the National Council of Provinces, to represent them, to ensure that no legislation undermines the interests, the powers, the duties, the functions of the different spheres of government. And so, Madam Chair, I would like to particularly recognize the premiers of the different provinces here today. I'd like to recognize Premier Lucas, Premier Mahuma Pelo, Premier Mtulu, Premier Makura, Premier Maswale, and in their absence, Premier Matabata, Premier Makashule, and Premier Mabuza. And was there a problem there? All those premiers, I would like to welcome whether they are here, Madam Chair, or whether they are not here and represented by others. And I read that list of premiers with great interest and delight, because there's only one premier that is the odd premier out, and it is not me. The odd premier out, Madam Chair, is the only premier here whose surname does not begin with an M. Now you may think that mine begins with a Z, but my legal name is Maria. So every premier in South Africa except Premier Lucas begins with an M. So Premier Lucas is the odd one out, and I thought we could christen her with a name as an M, but then I thought no one would be wanting to be known as Premier Lucas, so we will accept her into the Premier Club as Premier Lucas. Premier Lucas says her maiden name was Ndingi, but that doesn't count. It's your legal name that's in your ID. Yeah, Maria. That's that. So I would like to say to the premiers, thank you for being here. It's a really very important place to be, because this is the House that represents the sphere of government that is absolutely critical, with autonomous and
original powers in the Constitution. And I would like to say to the provincial leaders of my own party, and I see John Moody from Gauteng, I see Dr. Mayer from the Western Cape, and I hope I haven't missed out any other provincial leaders and any other provincial leaders of any parties, whatever they're wearing, hats or not. I would like to say you are extraordinarily welcome in this most important house. Because the National Council of Provinces has a critical role to play, and we've all just had a swearing of the oath of affirmation and faithfulness to the Republic of South Africa and obedience to the Constitution. Now, I know that this isn't a debate, Speaker, and so, Madam Chair, and I will now be very careful not to enter into a debate.
Please don't.
I will definitely not, despite what the predecessor Premier did, I will not enter into a debate. But I would like to say to the members here who represent their provinces, who happen to come from the voters of our party who got them elected, you are not accountable to your party. You do not pay obeisance to your party. Well, nobody else said that. You don't pay obeisance to your party, you pay obeisance to the Constitution. You are not accountable to Pradar Street, which is the DA's headquarters, or to the Tuli House. You are accountable to the Constitution and the law of South Africa. And I have a copy of the Constitution right here. This house is no rubber stamp. Order. Thank you, Madam Chair.
I will have order in this house.
Thank you, Madam Chair. As everybody knows, and so I'm not saying anything controversial, Madam Chair, this house is no rubber stamp. This house considers, passes, amends, proposes amendments, or rejects any legislation before it, and it can initiate legislation within its functional areas listed in Schedule 4, which is the powers of the provinces. So this house has autonomous powers, and it is obliged by the Constitution to fulfill those autonomous powers and never to be a rubber stamp for any party in the National Assembly or its headquarters. And now I've used my time and a bit of the other time that was left over. Congratulations to everybody. Thank you very much. Godspeed.
Honourable members, I do not want us to degenerate at the end. The only thing that is right that we must take away in this last input is that this House works on provincial mandates, and that we will make sure happens. And those provincial mandates come through the provincial legislatures. So unlike the National Assembly, we will not degenerate into positions which are except at the time when we are looking at legislation and party positions can then come in. The time at any other matter, we will be looking at provincial mandates, and I will be strict about it. So I want to agree that we must all feel congratulated, we must all feel welcomed and accepted in the Western Cape and in the NCOP and into Parliament. I want to then say that, honourable members, we have executed the mandate of our first sitting. We therefore can say that the business of today has been concluded. Selga. My apologies to Selga. Selga.
National Chairperson of the National Council of Provinces. Earlier on you said local government is the face of government at the local level. So we take this opportunity to congratulate you, the Deputy Chairperson of NCOP, the Chief Whip, We also take this opportunity to congratulate the premiers from different provinces and the leadership, permanent members of the NCOP. National Chairperson will take this opportunity to welcome you as part of our team to build local government. We certain that Maslang will help us to create and ensure that Salga is represented in the NCOP. We do hope that working with you will change local government. Earlier on you referred that we will work together to make local government better. Members are aware that there are problems almost everywhere in the country, where problems in Begersdal, in Mabubeng, across the whole nation there are problems. We do believe that NCOP would ensure that a local government is fully represented. Clearly you would know that in some cases the issue of local government is not fully understood because it's understood hierarchically. So we do believe that working together with you will be able to make local government to a proper sphere that is distinct, and we are able to deliver on what we're supposed to do. It is historic that we have full members of Salga to represent local government in the House, and we are certain that they will attend all meetings and activities and programs of the NCOP. So we'll do ensure that we are fully represented. We'll continue to pursue that local government be understood as a sphere, Chair. There are issues that we think we will present to yourselves to ensure that we are fully supported and we ensure that local government is fully realized as is defined by the obligations of the country. By so saying, Chair, we congratulate you and we hope to work with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Members, this concludes the business of today. The House is adjourned.